A very good day, Mark. Here it's 8:22 Eastern Time. That's 12:22 GMT, April the 21st, Monday morning, start of a new week. Uh, Before I start, bear in mind that liquidity could be thinner today, which means moves could be drastic based on the fact that it is Easter Monday and Europe is mostly still closed. European markets are mostly closed for the day. Let's start on the US dollar index. Bear in mind, last week we saw a big sell-off in the dollar index, US dollar weakening, US dollar sentiment negative. To start this week, very much of the same. If anything, picked up steam, a gap lower to start the week at 98.55. The open support already set at 97.67. That's a real low number. That's the lowest we've seen since 2021 in the dollar index. So sellers firmly in control as the US session gets started. Sellers will be looking at that support level, maybe even test it again, break lower. As I said, thin liquidity, so the moves could be sharp. Buyers will want to get back to that resistance level and the open at 98.52. Let's have a look at the S&P. Also sold off last week. To start this week, slight gap lower. I've got resistance sitting at 5,298. That's the 5,300 level, and support so far at 5,237. Futures are down, meaning in pre-market trading, the sell-off has continued, downtrend continued, and we're seeing lower prices. It's an hour until Wall Street opens up, so then we'll see how. Once Wall Street is open, the US major indices are open for the day. Let's see if that selling does continue or if buyers do step in at that support at the 5,233 and look to turn things around. Gold, which just unsurprisingly continues to move higher, a new record high at $3,403. Wow. So gold gapped higher to start the week after closing and settling last week around the 3,320 area. Opened to start the new trading week at 3,347. Above 3,400 we've already seen, which means buyers will now be eyeing 3,500 on the upside. Any pullbacks, any retracements on the shorter time frames, we've seen as opportunities for buyers to step in. We've seen demand at every level on the upside, and gold safe haven status is certainly playing out. Let's have a look at Brent oil, which did fight back last week. And to start this week, gapped lower to start the week. You can see that after closing last week at $66.87, looking to test that 67 level, gap down and opened lower at 66.25 to start this trading week. Already established support at $65, 65.08. Now that the US session is open, let's see if sellers can test that support. If sellers do get back into the market, look to break below that 65 level. Alternatively, where the buyers can continue the slight rally we saw last week, continue with the uptrend that we've seen, and come up back to the close levels last week at just below 67, and perhaps even test that resistance level to go higher. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Very interesting. There is the descending trend line showing the activity from the start of this January 2025. And then in the last few days, last week, we did see price action above this descending trend line, but still getting held up at the 86,000 level. We saw over the past week trading range between 83,000 support and just over 85,000 resistance. to start this week. Buyers certainly in control, and from that support around the 85, just over 85,000, we've already seen resistance at 87,800. So buyers certainly on the front foot to start the week, and now testing or challenging the from March last month, that 88,000 area, which buyers were unable to break above. Looks like they're going to have another attempt at that 88,000 area and maybe even go up to 90,000. Buyers in control to start the week. Sellers will look to test the 85,000, the resistance of last week and today's open price. I will keep you posted. Let's watch that. Good to see Bitcoin on the front foot to start this morning. Looking positive, certainly from a technical point of view. Good trading.